Hello and welcome to another battle report where we try and learn to be a better gamer. It's not a Beastmen versus Greenskin with Logic, my coach. He showed me a different build and I had to adjust a bit to try and see how I would face that build. As with all Greenskin builds, you want to go wide, so I exchanged some center core throwing axes to be able to keep in check, but I'm also taking the Butchers of Kalkangrad now, since they've been discounted in the last patch. So the plan is still roughly the same. We put our infantry up against theirs, and then we do what we can with the Centaurs, but now also with the Minotaurs. Which costs terror, by the way, the version for renowned one. And they also regenerate, so that's all good stuff. Now, as you can see here, we're engaging the front lines. Centaurs are starting to wrap around, could be a bit faster though. Trying to do multiple sides at once, which is sometimes a bit tricky. My infantry is getting some support from all the range. A little bit of pendulum on those orc boys to get them routing faster. And now my centaurs can squeeze in between and recharge these savage orcs. The butchers also got in on some infantry, finishing them off. I do need to be careful not to overextend them though, which I might actually be doing here at this point. No, I am running them back, good. So, chasing off some more orcs here. This flank should have gotten more attention from me, sadly it didn't. Hopefully it will soon. But I am winning fairly well on the left and somewhat on the middle. Here he wants to go after my lord, which is of course very smart, because, well, Azak does have the Spirit Leech spell. He's also a pretty tough fighter, which Malagor isn't. So I pull back my Minotaurs to deal with him. A bit of who's costing here. Not sure who is. Oh, probably didn't hit them, but only those. At the larger side of the battle, pretty much mopping up this flank, but getting a bit roasted on this one. Luckily he isn't controlling these very well, his attention is elsewhere, so these just get chased all the time. Malagor does manage to sneak out, but Azak gets back on him. Need to be careful with these center throwing axes, because they will eventually die to the arrow boys. My lord is routed, but he's deep into my territory and getting shot to pieces by triple archers. Well, the butchers are also coming in, and I walk my Malagor through some Ungor hordes. Now, luckily this good on him for doing the Spirit Leech here. This means he keeps taking damage and the chance of him rallying is less. But he does survive the Spirit Leech, and now he's routing and getting chased. Need to not overcommit here actually, but still going very well. A large part of his troops are still back here. Mostly because we're both focusing on this end. Now he's shattered, so I can stop chasing actually. Also to send in a centaur against these cavalry to support the throwing axis, and now they both can come back. Oh, that's very late on this, grabbing this back. Anyway, we have some infantry rubbing up against other infantry, but also keeping these archers busy, I do believe, yeah. Now they're retreating, and meanwhile my archers are attacking the entire time. Now this section is starting to make its way back. These are still waiting to get their commands. Trying to not have all my archers die to this Rekijan's club. So a bit of spell casting. Kinda did some friendly fire. But yeah, these have a tough matchup because there's orc boys here, big uns here, and there's some shooting from orc archers here. And these are routing. No, pretty much everywhere else on the battlefield it's going well. Even here we see centaurs chasing off different units, supporting those Ungar hordes. Managed to pull multiple spells on them, and now they can become a priority target. Ungar raged not a whole lot of armor piercing, actually only one. There is a lot of them shooting, and they're supported by other stuff as well. These orc boys are coming in, but finally these centaurs throwing axes and normal ones are back in the fight. So they take a big charge. These units are almost dead anyway, so mine that is. So I didn't mind doing some friendly fire, especially since the orc big ones are one of the few big threats left. Now, as you can see, I'm up 2-1. A lot of his is slow infantry, which I can shoot at from different angles. Do I have some magic? I have a bit of magic left as well. So big ones are one of the big problems, so I'm stopping them with some infantry and then shooting them with ranged. And I do believe army losses kicked in there. So let's take a bit of a value lead. Look at the gold value, damage value. Malagog are targeted pretty big, so he didn't get a lot of damage in himself, but he did make Azak overextend. Butchers, they're 1500 now, so not quite the damage value there, but they also got some terror routing, which is nice. Overall, a decent damage spread. Now I'm noticing here these Ungar Raiders with a lot more value than in the full Centaur build, mostly because I have more infantry to stop his infantry and then have them shoot overhead. So yeah, a little less damage value on the infantry, but more on less raiders, so that's always good. And that's pretty much a detail of this battle. So I hope you enjoyed this, hope you learned a lot from it. I know I did, and I'll see you all in the next battle report.